Connors, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinions.
Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter. Welcome you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion. Now, I have done a lot of Degrassi Unpopular Opinions based off of Season 4 stuff. But there's one storyline in Season 4 I really haven't done an Unpopular Opinion / hot take about. And that's the Paige and Spinner storyline from Season 4. And I know it didn't have anything to do with Rick and all that. Or Paige's love of Mr. Olander. It had a lot to do with Paige's rape trial. Now, hear me out. So, as we all know, in Season 4, Paige was having a rape trial against Dean. Dean did rape her, but because of lack of evidence, Paige lost the case. Of course, Paige manages to get Dean kicked out of his sorority, and also, in another fit of rage, she decides to take Spinner's car and crash into Dean's car because she wasn't happy with the results. But then again, I mean, Dean got lucky, but Spinner got arrested, but he said he would take the fall. Paige decided at the last second to take the fall for herself. Meets Dean at the end of the police station, tells Dean that I'm going to do something right. I'm going to confess. That's what good people do when they do something bad. But Dean doesn't waver. It says basically, you want to hook up and all that. But that's the last time we see from Dean or hear about Dean. But the consequences for Paige were dire. Because she took the fall, she was banned from driving for 1 year. She has to take road rage courses and do community service. Meanwhile, Spinner's car is damaged, but not totaled. So Spinner has to pay for the damages. But Paige said she'll work a job to pay Spinner back for fixing his car up. So here's the unpopular opinion I had. It's Spinner had a right to wave his broken car in front of Paige in Season 4. Here's what I said. The background is that, the background is that Paige gets her rape trial against Dean Hurd in Season 4, but Dean gets off scot-free due to lack of evidence. Paige wants Dean to suffer, so she crashes Spinner's car into Dean's car. Spinner's arrested, but Paige comes clean and pays for damages to Spinner's car. In the middle of Season 4, well, I shouldn't have said middle, but, it was like early part of Season 4. Spinner had Google eyes on Manny. Well, Paige was at a movie theater to get money to pay for the damages to her car. Spinner keeps reminding Paige about the damages to her car. People didn't like that. But here's what I say he had the right to. No, sorry. Here's what I say. The guy worked hard to save her his first vehicle, and it came from a poor background and was happy about his car. And obviously he was pissed that Paige would take his car and smash it into someone else's car for revenge. It was partially wanted because of Dean, but still. He just wants his car to be paid for and to be done with it. All I have to say is that Paige should have told Spinner off, saying that if he had eyes for Manny or anything else, then she would withhold his money for the car, and then Spinner would have to figure out something else. It does make Paige look like a bad guy, but she should be empowering this guy. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that, Spinner is waving the car in front of Paige. He has a right to, but Paige should have bounced back and told him off and then make Spinner realize his problems. So anyway, I had some comments. People said they're all teenagers and acted accordingly. Corky16 said, he just wants his car to be paid for and be done with it. Stealing food off Paige's plate and making her add more butter to his popcorn to his exact specification isn't going to get his car paid for faster. Fighting at the mall and getting a fire almost won't get his car paid for faster. He was a dick at that time when his girlfriend was feeling down, helpless, and insecure, and all he wanted to do was make her feel worse and keep punishing her. Crash Evidence says, it's one thing to remind her of the car, it's another thing to treat her like property. And C Sky said, I think it's understandable how he felt, but I don't think he had a right to keep saying stuff when she clearly felt bad and was actively working to make up for it, especially considering why she did it. He does have a right to express his feelings. There's no need for him to be a doormat, but he wanted her to be a doormat, basically. Signal Shoe said that he or she agrees with it, but the way he held it against her was just a bit too much sometimes. Paige was working at the theater and worked towards paying it off, but of course that can't happen that quickly on a minimum wage job. So I find it warranted how Alex reacts to it. But yeah, Spinner had a certain right to wave his broken car in front of her. But Urban Glam said, I disagree. Spinner held Paige's understandable moment of impulse against her so that she could be inferior to him. She was feeling low and defeated, and it was tasteless. Paige was moving the movie theater and reluctantly allowing Spinner to treat her horribly in front of her friends because she felt bad about damaging his car. But Spinner's closeness with Manny and his fight with Craig at the movie theater showed that Spinner was not satisfied with Paige's efforts. Okay, so that's true. I understand that. But I'm just saying that, the guy just, was pissed off that, like, Paige, he knows Paige didn't get her answers with Dean, and so Paige decides to take Spinner's car and crash it in Dean's car instead of doing something else for revenge. And Spinner is upset. His car's a mess, and he can't pay for it, the damages. And Paige said she would do that, but Paige doesn't get a major job. I'm actually surprised that Paige's family doesn't help pay for that car. I mean, Paige's parents probably would understand that Paige was upset with how she was treated by the rape trial. But I mean, Spinner was, yeah, I agree that Spinner was a piece of crap and all that towards Paige in that whole thing in season 4, especially with him having eyes on Manny. I mean, Spinner was not satisfied with Paige, and then he decides to go with Manny at the same time as, still kind of being with Paige and being part of Paige's clique to destroy Emma and destroy Rick in that whole series. That whole destroying Emma thing I'll get to in my next CDUO. But the simple fact is that Spinner was upset over his car being broken. Any guy would probably do that. I mean, Paige should have just told him, I want to get rid of Dean somehow. And Spinner would have probably thought of something. In addition to the fact that he was trying to get rid of Rick, which failed miserably because Rick retaliated. But the fact of the matter, guys, is that, I can get from Spinner's thing. And Spinner should have been more protective of Paige. I get it. But he just basically thought that Paige was inferior. And then all of a sudden, I guess after Paige lost her job, in a sense, he said, screw that, I'll go with Manny, someone who will treat me right. He was in a jerk-ass phase. Spinner just was a terrible person in season 4. I mean, for holding things against Paige when he should not have. Also, the fact that he had eyes on Manny, why? And, and trying to destroy Rick. He was a jerk-ass. Not to mention the fact that Spinner got closer to Jay than Jimmy. It was like when Jimmy switched sides, Spinner was upset, the act of betrayal. So he should never listen to Jay. But, breaking off from Jay was the right thing to do in season 5, in a sense. Like, I agree with people saying that, Spinner shouldn't have done that. But nobody said, well, why doesn't Paige just withhold the car money from Spinner? But then again, I mean, Spinner might have had to go to court because Paige gave him an agreement and he won't get his car fixed faster, so he's going to be whiny, that bullshit. The simple fact is that, Spinner was right to be upset about his car, but wrong to deal with Paige. So in a sense, I get it. That Spinner was a jerk to Paige and all that. But I mean, Spinner was just upset and all that. He valued his car more than Paige, which kind of sucks in a sense. So, I don't know. That's just for me to know and you to find out. Seriously. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Diamond.